Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we about to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716, make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and him. Talk about the Bills, dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill when we talk about the Bills. Dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Postpodiumpodcast. I am your co-host, Aramis.
And I'm here. What's up, y'all? 40 keys.
40 keys in the hit house. We got a lot of great stuff to get to today. We already got a bunch of people in the chat here. What's up, Weston? What's going on, Sandra? J-Ham, what it is? Tommy, what it is, man? ATL, what's up? Let's not waste any time. Let's not waste any time here. What, you burning on anything right now, bro? Like,
yeah, it was kind of funny. We were talking right before the show. We were talking about how hard it is to stay even keel. And on the drive-in, I said to myself, you know what? This show ain't for everybody. And that's okay. You know why? Because the show is actually probably the most anti-pro Bills podcast there is. Because what I mean by that is we love the Bills.
Okay.
No doubt about it. I mean, look at the research we do. Look at the stats, the player profiles, the personnel trajectory following that we do, the trends. And I mean, love us or hate us, you can refute all you want, but it's mostly right.
Yep.
But why do I say that? Anti in terms of we use this platform in a way that in my own personal opinion is to keep people grounded, you know, because there's a lot of Bills Mafia propaganda out there, a lot of stuff out there that makes no sense, a lot of stuff out there that people believe. And, you know, to the lay person, the person that might be tuning into the first Bills podcast, like, you know what are those guys thinking about? Oh, I heard Devin A-Chain and Tyreek Hill coming to Buffalo. Yeah. We're like, no, and here's why.
Right.
You know, and people are like, you guys are negative. You guys bash on beat it. No, you know what it is, honestly? If you guys, not the ones that are always here, but the guys that tune in here to try to refute everything we say, stop listening to all the hype. Stop, coming up with conjecture. We wouldn't do it. Because, you know, this believe in Bean Island, yeah, Tommy takes credit for it. But the reason why it's there is because of us.
Long before he stuck a flag in it.
Right. The thing is, it's there because of us.
Yeah. Because
after McDermott was going, we started jumping on Bean. Why? Because Bean was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now, is he horrible? No. And I'm going to go on record as saying it. No. And I probably don't even think he's as bad as I say I think he is. But the thing is, it's all this hype that goes there for what reason? You know, if you got to say, I think, I believe, my opinion on anything, we heard you. We like it. But let's look at the other side as well. You know, but the Bean Island thing is like, that goes from private chats with us and Tommy and other people and private and the comment overload in the chat here. And it's like, all right, let's just keep going back and forth about this thing. And it takes on a life of its own.
Right.
You know, so the McDermott thing, when people say McDermott's the greatest, he did it. I know McDermott was the most winningest coach in Bills history by a percentage. You know, he fell apart in the playoffs. I sent a graphic in the Discord. In the last 5 years or 6 years, the Bills allowed the second fewest touchdowns in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody, that defense is trash. It came up short in big moments, but was it really trash? I think not. It was boring, very boring, and very bland, but it did stuff. Yep. And you can't say Josh Allen was the reason why the defense worked. No, because Josh Allen's probably the reason why he had so many touchdowns against us. Because if he got off the field or stayed on the field longer, rather, then we wouldn't have as much time to have to be scored on. You know, that's just sometimes a virtue of how good the offense is, you know, when teams allow. Because I think the only team that allowed less touchdowns than us, guess who? Denver. Denver was the only team in the last 5 years that allowed less touchdowns than us in the regular season. So, I mean, these stats, you can use them however you want to use them if you're smart to try to figure out and massage them into your point. But the show itself is kind of a platform to say, you know what? This is a safe haven.
Mm-hmm.
I know you heard this. I know you heard that. But let me tell you why that might not be true. Now, when it is true, sure, come on the show. So I told you guys. I don't know why I thought so, but I told you guys. Because, like I said, we're not insiders. We're not, source givers. We don't have Adam Schefter's in our back pocket. We don't have, Todd McShay's in our back pocket back in the draft days. We just two guys that sit here and try to read tea leaves. You have one or two more phone numbers than I do, but outside of that, we are what we think, and we are honestly what you guys are. Before starting the show, we started on the other side watching podcast like, no, that's not true at all. And one of the biggest fears I had, as I always say, starting the show is, what is the Bills Mafia going to do to this show? They're going to destroy this show. When we first started, they're going to tear it. I thought we'd have like 8 subscribers by now. I thought we'd be going out backwards, but you guys love us for whatever reason. We love you guys and keep doing what you're doing. We're going to keep doing what we do. And no, we're not a negative podcast per se. We just are trying not to give you what everybody else does, because what else would you rather do it 2 hours of your time?
Yeah, I hate Tommy being a contrarian again. Look, and the reason I use the word contrarian is because a lot of times, I feel like I try to be as objective as I can possibly be about my perspective. And when I watch these shows back, because I watch almost every show that we do back, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm always trying to, learn and grow what we do and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes I think to myself, man, I must come off as a real contrarian to people who don't really know me or don't watch the show. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Regularly. Mm-hmm. And when I thought about that, I'm like, well, I don't purposely take the stance of I'm just going to come into this field trying to disagree with everybody. Right. Like realistically, when we started the show, it was, let's just analyze what they do and talk about it. Mm-hmm. Right. And when I think we started this in 2023. Yeah. Right. And in 23, we were 2 years removed from being a super dominant team, AFC Championship. And at that point, did it kind of seem like things were on a downturn? No, because we still had, 2 years of Josh Allen going off on the NFL, even after Brian Daboll left. And I think at that point, our stance was, all right, some ebbs and flows. There, we had a little bit of that to the beginning of Josh Allen's career to begin with. So it's not like we should expect this thing to boom and blossom like Mahomes' career did. Let's see how it goes. And all we did, like you said, from that point on is read the tea leaves, trust our sources, and do the analysis and do the research. And what's funny about this is you mentioned us and our position on being a lot of the reason for the birth of Bean Island, right? And I don't want to take any credit away from Tommy.
No, that's his thing. Trust me, that's his thing.
Definitely,
that's 100%.
But I will say this. I think part of the reason we have the platform that we do is because a lot of the voices, and Tommy's not wrong. There are people out there who agree with us and say what we say. I see it on Twitter all the time. Mm-hmm. But they are when you consider the amount of those people relative to everybody else who's in Bills Mafia, it is a vast disparity.
Right.
Like those voices are not heard nearly as much as the thousands. Like I watched that story. Adam Schefter posted the story on how Bills Mafia got started. Mm-hmm. And the whole deal with he retweeted what Stevie Johnson said on Twitter, and this happened to be 8 days later, and people here in the city just went off on them. And to a degree, yeah, we need to protect our own.
Yeah.
But I think after the fact, this Bills Mafia thing became, we have enough people following the team to bully anybody that says anything negative about us. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's the right approach either. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't, like, as you said, there needs to be balance. And that's why we take the approach that we take, because in life, these people who are going fanatic and bonkers crazy for this team probably don't act that way at work.
No,
they probably don't act that way in their regular lives. But for some reason, when it comes to this team, it is no holds barred. Right. Don't say not one negative word about my squad. I will kill you.
They drink their Kool-Aid like this.
Double fisted. That's right. That's right. And I think that, that became something that, very early on I tried to, attack, but people like, Laura and some of the other people that watch the show have kind of talked me off the ledge there because that bothered me. Yeah. The fact that people could become bully-ish like that. You know what I'm saying? And case in point, when you approach us with valuable and valid information that may not coincide with what we say, I'm willing to entertain it. Mm-hmm. Let's have a conversation. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. Absolutely, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? However, if your approach is to tell me how you feel about the team mm-hmm. and tell me that you feel that the team has executed in a certain way, or Brandon Beane or Sean McDermott you feel has executed in a certain way, and you really cannot pull from any specific information or any evidence,
right?
I don't know how much I can hear that. I don't know how much I can believe and respect what you say if it's just about feelings.
Right.
The world doesn't work on that. The world doesn't work on what you feel. It doesn't work on what you believe either. Your world may work on what you believe, but that's all our individual bubbles that we live in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So what I like about this philosophical beginning of our conversation today is I think the main topic that I really want to get to, which I think we can start now because this is the perfect time to start it, fits beautifully with what we're talking about. Right? And here's what I'm talking about. So shout out to Dorothy for putting this in our Discord chat. It's an article at SB Nation by Chris Trapasso.
Trap hat, as Nate calls
Trap hat, as Nate calls and the article goes, how Brandon Beane's drafts have compared to other top GMs. Okay. Now, I encourage you to go read it because the amount of conversation that we're going to have surrounded around this information, it's going to get kind of extensive. Okay.
Tommy, stay with me now.
Stay with me now.
But I'll say this, for those of you that don't want to have to take the time to go read it, because I think that's the other part of the reason why people watch us, because they don't have time to do all the research. Right.
Because we're going to tell you what it said, then tell you why we don't like it. That's what happens.
Right. So basically, the article starts off talking about how Brandon Beane compares to, what would be considered other top GMs in the field, right? And he specifically named the GMs of the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Seahawks, the Eagles, and the Rams from between 2018 and 2013. All right. Now this is determined by residual per pick. Let me can you look up what residual per
I'm about
pick
to say is? I was waiting for you to say what it was. I'm like, I have no idea what that meant.
Yeah. So let's find that definition because I didn't get a chance to look that up. But basically, he has charts for each team, the Chiefs picks versus the Bills picks, the Ravens picks versus the Bills picks, and so on and so forth with each respective team. Okay. When you look at the chart for the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Bills, in 2018, the advantage was Bills. In 2019, the advantage was Chiefs. In 2020, the advantage was Bills. In 2021, the advantage was Chiefs. The next 2 years after that, 22 and 23, the advantage falls to the Bills. And in the next column down, which is, they do it by year and then they do it by round, which is that's pretty interesting. I like that he did it that way. But anyway, it kind of goes back and forth up until rounds 6 and 7, where the Chiefs take those last 2 rounds. Surprisingly, in the first round, the Bills take the advantage of having better first round picks. Okay. Now this comparison continues on from the Ravens to the Seahawks, to the Eagles, to the Rams, and so on and so forth. Right. And what stuck out to me, and Chris Trapasso kind of made this point, maybe without realizing that he was making this point, but this entire article sets out to point out that Brandon Beane, when you look at these numbers, has been drafting better than all 5 of these other GMs. And based on these numbers, sure, I will absolutely give it to Brandon Beane. He's won the draft. Okay. Now, all of this has to mean something. It has to lead to something, because these numbers by themselves and winning the draft isn't necessarily how you win in the NFL. It doesn't mean you're going to win games. It just means that you've gotten better value at that pick as compared to some of the other GMs. Okay. Now, 40 Keys.
Yes, sir.
What would you say is the main reason why people don't try to debate us on this show?
Because they know I have 32 pages of notes over here.
Okay, so I agree with that. I think it's a combination of 2 things: the copious amount of notes that you take, and the one singular point that I've continued to maintain the entire time that we've been doing this show, which destroys everybody's argument about how good the Bills are, which is, how many championships do you have, though? Before, when we was in the drought, it was, who's your quarterback, though? Right? Now it's, how many rings you got, though? Right? And the reason that this kind of destroys every argument of how good, because the Bills have been good. We know that. They've won a lot of games. Fine. But how good have they been is the debate here, right? And you have to define the highest level of success in order to figure out just how good the Bills have been.
Right.
The only way to define that in the NFL is to define it by the one thing that all of the 32 teams are trying to accomplish, which is winning a championship. Okay. So what sticks out about this article, for those of you who hadn't figured this out by now, is all of these teams that Chris Trapasso has compared Brandon Beane to have all won championships very recently, between the years of 2018 and 2013, even to now. Right. And what's frustrating about that is the man did this research, used those teams, but didn't think to maybe, be objective enough to qualify his point on both sides. Because again, when you read this article, it comes off as Brandon Beane is better than all these guys. He's been drafting better than all these guys from 2018 to 2023. And you guys just need to own it. You need to understand it, accept it, that Brandon Beane is elite. Leave him alone.
And to solidify your point, the residual per pick. Before we do that, actually, it's eating at me. I don't want you to think I'm disrespecting you.
Yeah.
You already know.
Yep.
Wyatt Town Kings with the donuts, the super chat. I got week 4 Patriot tickets locked in. Where's the meetup going to be? All right. So here's the evolution of Postpodium Podcast. I just thought about this while we were sitting here looking at this. If anybody who's watching this show knows a place in the Buffalo area that wants to get publicity, wants to maybe host a meet and greet with Postpodium Podcast,
I got one I can call.
Oh,
I got one I can call.
Okay, well, Wyatt Town King, stay tuned, because we want to start doing stuff like that. We just don't have a location, and we don't know how many people would actually show up. We don't want it to be like us two, and you just have a wing like, yo, what's happening with it? You good with it? Okay, that's what's up. How's the family? All right. Well, we want to fellowship and enjoy each other. We we're not on the same scale as Rico and TD, and then when they stormed the Bastille.
We'll still take recommendations if there's another place that you want to try and go to. That's fine.
Yeah, you got a place. We could do 2-3 places if need be. They just need to know we're coming and how many people are actually going to be there.
1,000%.
Yeah. So and to get off of that for a moment. Wrong mouse. There we go. All right. Definition of residual per pick. This is where it kind of hurts. Residual per pick. It's the observed value. So let's take TJ Parker. Observed value. He was supposed to be the 28th pick in the draft. We'll say. We took him at 35.
So it's just relative.
It's relative. So yes, the actual the formula for the residual equals observed value minus predicted value. So if he's predicted to be 27th in the draft and we get him at 35, we got a +8 on that.
So he's got to be going off the consensus big board.
Yeah, he's going off the big board and where we got the player versus. So in actuality, if you look at the Skylar Bell pick, that won it in itself.
Yeah,
because people thought he was a second, third rounder. We got him in the fourth.
Yeah.
So Khalil Shakir, another one where everybody's like, oh man. So
Jalen Kilgore.
And I'm looking at this and I'm saying, okay, I like it, but the teams that we're going against, which is Pat Mahomes, which is I don't want to say. Well, I'm looking at players, for instance, because the Eagles, they don't. I'm not going to say Jalen Hurts because whatever. They just have a defense. The Ravens, they have Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
The Rams, they have Puka. They have all these other. But the difference between us and them is we're still building, like you said, to try to win the Super Bowl. They're building through their holes. They have the foundation. They have the initial pieces that is tried and true, but we're still trying to get there. I saw a tweet earlier, and I don't want to take your point completely, but I saw a tweet where how'd it go? Somebody said, and I agree with them to a degree. Somebody said, they were retweeting or going back to something somebody else said, and they responded to it. The initial tweet said, the Bills have a tough schedule, blah, 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 because of this, that, and third. And the guy, who was it, Aaron Quinn, I think it was, he said, I don't really care. It doesn't matter about the schedule. It don't matter who we got to go through. They got to go through Josh Allen. And in my mind, it's like, okay, cool, we got Josh Allen, but then what? Why is it that they have to go through? Is it because he's that great? No, it's because we don't have anything else.
Right.
Joe Burrow's putting up numbers, and Lamar's putting up numbers but they have a team around them. You got to go through coach, the defense, the running back, the whatever. And we're Josh Allen, and everybody knows that that's one of the detriments of the Buffalo Bills. Mm-hmm. If you cut the head off the snake of the Buffalo Bills, which would be Josh Allen, what else is there? That's got to beat us.
Right.
And that we got to fix that.
Sam says, in actuality, Beans players played most of their contracts out in Buffalo and had pretty good careers. There are a few stragglers still in the league. Ingram got snatched. Van Pran got snatched. To that, I would say this.
Wait, Van Pran got snatched. Where'd he go?
He got picked off.
How did he go somewhere? He's under contract. We didn't trade him.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about a trade.
Don't do that, please. Daddy Van Pran, tell us it's not true, please, Daddy Van Pran, if you're in here.
He might be talking about the offensive tackle, not Van Pran.
Oh, Vandermark.
Yeah,
Ryan
Vandermark. Yeah.
Okay,
that's not Van Pran.
Okay. Okay. Sam, don't you do it?
Yeah, but so to that, I would say it's very easy to look at players who played out their contracts and have lasted, long amounts of years in the NFL. Plenty of other teams have done that, mm-hmm. right? And that's not necessarily an indicator of success as a team. Again, everything that I'm trying to lay out here about this article, about the conversations that we have all the time is, how does it equal championships? When I got upset about the way that we drafted just a few weeks ago, it was based on what? What's the goal? The goal is winning a Super Bowl, but you drafted a bunch of guys that are going to have to play backup this year.
Yeah.
And they're only going to get burned when one of your starters goes down. Mm-hmm. The one key thing that I think you said or kind of alluded to, but not really brought out, that I want to bring out is you said the Eagles, Ravens, Rams, like they're trying to fill positions. Right. And it's not just filling positions. They're trying to find starters mm-hmm. in the draft, guys that they can take from the draft, put them into starting positions on their team this year that they can use to go and win a Super Bowl. Right now, you have to ask yourself, why in the world are they trying to do that when the Bills have been doing something completely different? Right. We all love what the Bills have been doing. The Bills have been winning so many games over here in the AFC East for years now. Why would the Rams do it differently, right? Mm-hmm. There would be one person on the right-hand side that would say, well, everybody wins differently.
Right.
And then there would be another person that would say, well, the Rams are just idiots because the likelihood of them finding a starter for every position is not good. In either argument, you're kind of missing the point. because the point still stands. They have 2 championships to our 0 right now from 2018 to now. That's the bottom line. And that's just the Rams. That doesn't even count the Eagles, who have 2 from then to now. The Chiefs, who have 4 from then to now. Who's the other thing? The Ravens are the only ones that have not been able to get past us.
Yep.
Or anybody else. Right?
Yeah.
So 1 out of these 5 teams that we can say, oh, well, we draft better than the Ravens and they haven't been able to beat us. Fine. Mm-hmm. You want to, Dorothy, you want to take that lap to Ravens fans? You want to take that statistic to Ravens fans? Go for it. Eat them alive.
You're welcome.
Right? But all the other teams that are in this article are ahead of us in that one primary statistic. They win Super Bowls.
Right.
So I can't look at any other circumstances of how players play out their contracts here, how long they're in the NFL, how many teams want them after they leave here, what teams try to trade for them, how much money these players get elsewhere. None of that matters, because all you're really trying to do is find numerical ways to justify keeping the guy that has been part of a regime that has not won us a Super Bowl with Josh Allen as our quarterback. That's really the bottom line of all this. Right. You're finding ways to justify something you want to feel good about, and that's okay. That's okay. But at least be willing to admit that. Don't try to use more numbers or use more information to justify a position that is solely emotional for you.
Yeah, I think that was the issue with the I'm sorry, Nate. Trap Ass Hat. What's his name? Trap Ass Hat. And J Ham, welcome to the family. He's a member. J Ham is a member. I forgot to put that out there. But yes. Make sure you send us something so we can get you where you need to be.
Yep, the link is in the description of this video, so just go in there and click our email, and you can let us know that you hey, I need the link, because I don't want to just post the link to what fun would that be? Right, yeah. So hit us up.
I was gonna but they could just answer. So I was gonna say, well, I won't say he's the most incompetent GM, probably is Daryl Morey, which he said is Brandon Beane. The Philadelphia 76ers GM, who just got fired after having James Harden and Joel Embiid and Maxey and I mean, what was the number? Whatever pick he blew up last year, and still couldn't get it done. Got bounced by the Knicks. It's funny that people will bring up. Steve said in here, you have to have a good defense or above average coaching staff on top of, you're at least average or above average quarterback. If you listen to most people talk, firing McDermott guarantees a solid look at a Super Bowl, sight unseen. And that's where Postpodiumpodcast comes in, because we still have things to see. We have things that needs to be proved to us. And you too. It's a euphoric stage right now where football is starting again. We see people with the helmets on. We see new numbers. We see new names, and they're running around doing these things. And it's like, yeah, it's back. But trying to stay grounded in that vein of staying grounded just for the 2 hours is, we're trying to stay positive and give you guys all the nuggets we can, while people don't see that side. Because we'll tell you what it says, but what we don't agree with, we'll tell you. Now, I would love to sit here and listen to conversation, listen to opinions that I can boost up and pump up in the second, third. And that's the reason why I don't knock anybody, even if I don't agree with you. Tommy is a different story, because Tommy's just, he's not just a viewer. We talked to Tommy, off of the show, so. Laura as well. Laura, we'll get on Laura. People and J Ham, you'll see now. You'll see why. Not to turn to Discord, why we say some of the things we say, and you can add stuff in there. I think you'll like it a lot. I think anybody that wants to join for this $1.99 dono
a month.
It's not even a super chat.
Yeah.
So hop in there and have fun. Yep. It's definitely not a bash fest in there. Well, it's a bash fest, not at the Bills though. Everything
we
but the
fun
Bills.
at each other.
Oh
time,
yeah,
really.
we have a ball. But when you're looking at team construction, if you're talking about solid depth, you're talking about adding a component that teams don't have. And that's the part. That's why I don't really say starters or stars, because some of them are like, you know what? Don't need it because we got this. We have or had Jason Owe, who is in the wings. We had a starter, whoever it was. He's going, but we have this guy. And the Bills draft this guy, but they don't have that guy that's moving up, ascending based on merit. And I thought about this. This is a thought that I haven't heard people say a lot with regards to all of McDermott's defensive players not being picked up. What does Bean always say when people ask him about moving up around in the draft? It takes two to what?
Takes two to tango.
Takes two to tango. What common denominator do all these defensive players have that left the Bills, with the exception of maybe one or two? How old are they? These guys don't want to sign with teams until after training camp. They're waiting for teams to have injuries. They're waiting for teams to say, you know what, we don't have it and we can't find it. Trey White, we'll give you not the $1.3 million or 1.7 that you were going to get if you would have signed before OTA. Mm-hmm. We'll give you the 5 because we're desperate now. Matt Milano, we need a linebacker. XYZ went down. Don't want to curse anybody. They went down. We need somebody that can do this. We know you can. You've done it for 10 years. We'll give you $7 million. And you don't have to OTA. You don't have to go to training camp. You're coming right into preseason, basically. And that's what they want. People don't say that part. They don't bring that up. They just say, oh, the Bills defense, the personnel was trash. Well, it wasn't that trash because it worked when it needed to. Like everybody says, you can't say that the players are bad if you're saying McDermott's defensive scheme was bad, because the players were good because the scheme wasn't, the defense wasn't as bad as the scheme was. So that's just my thought on that. I really think that people need to look at who these players that are talking about that aren't signed and why they're not signed. And is it them that don't want to be signed? You don't hear them making waves around, being linked with other teams. Teams are looking at them. Teams, if we're signing Sam Franklin's, teams are signing relative unknowns, and these guys are sitting out there, former Pro Bowlers, former All Pros, whatever the case may be. There's a reason for it, and it's their agents.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. Okay.
You still fighting for your life with that era Discord message you tried to put in there?
No, it went through.
Okay.
It went through. Yeah. So the link that's in the description of this chat, that's a link for our email. Okay. So if you become a member, you pay the $1.99 a month. That gives you access to our Discord chat. The way to get the link for our Discord chat is to hit us up in our email. Let us know, hey, I signed up for the membership. We go and we verify that. After we verify that, we'll email you the link, and then you just click the link that basically sends you an invite to our Discord chat. You get right in, and after you put your name in and all that kind of stuff, it automatically pops you in the chat. Everybody waves hi, says hi, whatever the case is, and you are now in the inner circle with us.
Yep.
Really quick, I just want to take you through the Wikipedia information for Les Snead, Brett Veach, Howie Roseman, and John Schneider. Right? All of these GMs have won multiple Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Schneider, let me see. Schneider, he's been general manager since 2010. So yeah, multiple Super Bowls. He has 2. But he's been to 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then you tell me what you notice about this. Okay. Let's start with Les Snead. Les Snead was a graduate assistant with Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pro scout for the Jacksonville Jaguars from 95 to 97.
Mm-hmm.
He was a pro scout for the Atlanta Falcons from 98 to 2008.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was director of player personnel from 2009 to 2011.
Yep.
He then became the general manager of the Rams in 2012.
So all that happened before he became a GM.
All that before he became a GM.
Okay. Means nothing. Psych. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Brett Veach.
Uh-huh.
Brett Veach was a coaching intern with the Eagles back in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
He became a coaching assistant with the Eagles in 2008 to 2009. He was a scout for the Eagles from 2010 to 2012. He then became the pro and college personnel analyst with the Chiefs from 2013 to 2014. He was then the co-director of player personnel from 2015 to 2016. And then he became the general manager in 2017. Okay. Howie Roseman for the Eagles. Howie Roseman was a front office intern in 2000 for the Eagles. He was a salary cap staff counsel from 2001 to 2002. He then went on to become the director of football administration from 2003 to 2005. After that, he became vice president of football administration from 2006 to 2007, vice president of player personnel from 2008 to 2009, and then became the general manager from 2010 to 2014. And now he is the executive vice president of football operations / general manager. Okay. And last but not least, John Schneider.
You say executive vice president?
So the same job that Brandon Beane has, Howie Roseman has.
What?
For the Eagles.
Beane is the president.
Howie Roseman is the executive vice president.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry, executive vice president.
Right.
Yeah. So Brandon Beane technically has a higher position.
He can sell his and he can buy and sell his ashy butt. Yeah.
Oh shoot. Oh crap. What did I just do? For some reason I pulled out the okay, here it is. All right, John Schneider. In 1993 until 1996, he was a scout for the Green Bay Packers. For the Kansas City Chiefs, he became the director of pro personnel from 97 to 99. In 2000, he became director of player personnel for the Seahawks. In 2001, he was director of player personnel for the Redskins. He became vice president of player personnel for the Redskins in 2001. Forgive me. They highlighted the teams. They highlighted the Seahawks, the Redskins, but not the Packers. So when I'm reading this, it's kind of confusing. So forgive me. So for the Seahawks, he was director of pro personnel in 2000. He was a director of player personnel in 2001. He was the vice president of player personnel for the Packers from 2002 to 2009. He was the top personal aide to the general manager from 2002 to 2007. He was the director of football operations from 2008 to 2009. For the Seahawks, he then became the general manager from 2010 to now. And then since then, he's become the general manager and executive vice president. And then since 2024, he's been the general manager and president of football operations. So he's right where Brandon Beane is. Yep. Okay. Howie Roseman's probably going to take that spot soon. If the Eagles have any kind of, success coming up. So now let's go to Brandon Beane. Okay. Now this is with Brandon Beane's, two-time Sporting News Executive of the Year in 2020 and 2022. Okay. In 1998, he was listed as personnel. From 98 to 2007, he was just part of their personnel. Mm-hmm. Okay. He then became the director of football operations from 2008 to 2014. In 2015, he became the assistant general manager until 2016, in which case he then became the general manager of the Buffalo Bills in 2017. And we know how that story went on.
Yep. Yeah, the personnel he was in marketing. That's where he was. He was in marketing. Yep. And that's the point I always try to drive home. It's the background. That's the background. So it's the background. Guys that have decades of scouting, decades of money, decades of whatever. Brandon Beane was Russ Brandon basically.
Yeah.
And then Sean
just McDermott a little more cutthroat.
Yeah. Sean McDermott comes in, and familiarity. And I wonder, I really think about it now. Is Sean McDermott going to boost this familiarity thing in his next team? Because familiarity is what cost him his job. It has nothing to do with Shaka Bean was never a scout. Nope, never a scout. Never a finance guy. Nope. And I mean, if people want to refute that, trust me, I've done my research. I've looked this up already. He wasn't. He's the only one out of the big, I'll say big seven, because on the GM board, don't ask me to list them out because I don't have it in front of me and why. But I had him number 7 overall in the power ranking of GMs. Mm-hmm.
Based on their careers and what they've done.
Yeah. So you figure everybody, Keyshawn hates Bean. Well, I hate him enough to put him in the top, 5th? top almost third. Yeah, what is that? Yeah, top third. So, well, close to it. But yeah, you when people believe in Bean, people put faith in Bean, and I'm not talking about the island. I'm literally talking about believe in Bean, and if that's what they want to do, if that's what they think, I'm with it. Just because I don't want to do my own research, because I don't really know what I'm looking at. The point is, you want somebody with a pedigree to listen to. If you're listening to, their evaluations, their thought process, what you need, what this player can do. Who have you scouted? Who have you? That's why last show I talked about Terry Gray, who he scouted. Who his name is attached to, what players, what teams, what defenses, what offenses. And that's important, because whether or not he's our GM, and if this is his draft, if these have been his drafts, then maybe it's time to move to somebody else. Because if that's where Bean's getting his intel from, and we're getting the same players over and over and over and over again, and we got a new coach, new defensive coordinator, we might need a new set of eyes, a new thought process. But well, then Dave Pasternak said Bean is trash. Say less.
So real quick, I want to read this, right? Because you pointed out that Brandon Bean's background initially for many, many years, like in all seriousness, that's the longest amount of time that he spent at any one position was when he was just personnel marketing, which was from 98 to 2007. He was the director of football operations for almost as long, from 2008 to 2014. But the man went 9 years basically in marketing. Okay. I just want to read you what marketing is when you search it. Okay. Marketing is the process of identifying, anticipating, and satisfying customer needs to build brand awareness, drive sales, and create profitable value for a business. At its core, marketing is about understanding your target audience so well that the product or service sells itself. It spans everything from market research and product development to advertising and sales. If you think that there is no reason whatsoever for Brandon Bean taking his product from WGR and moving it over to 103.3 The Edge, you are fooling yourself.
Yeah.
There is a specific reason why they've gone through this chrysalis, and we'll talk about that
please, because I've seen this a lot. Lori said it's not. We got into a talk about Godzilla last night. It just spiraled. So it was a good conversation. It was actually funny. Mom, you would appreciate it. But yeah.
Yes, Dave. That's exactly the point we've been trying to make for a long time.
Meat and potatoes.
So the reason I'm trying to point this out is, I think we've been saying this for a while now, that all of these mottos, put the ball down and everybody eats and all that kind of stuff, so much about this team has become marketing and pandering to a fan base that has identified itself with craze and hyper emotionalism and just a rabid nature to attack anything that poses any opposition whatsoever. And that is not a fan base that is, how can I say, it's not a fan base that's good for knowing what's best for themselves. It is, however, a fan base that is the absolute best to sell something to, because whatever you put out there, they will gobble it up. Any mention of anything that you like, they like. Any mention of anything you don't like, they don't like. Why do we think that this is happenstance?
Right.
None of what we've seen happen since Brandon Bean has been here is a mistake.
Right.
He is a marketing master. He has showed you that.
And that's why I say that he's not. He doesn't. The worst thing that's going to happen is he's going to lose the GM position. Yep. He's going to be a Buffalo Bill organization member, and I'm fine with that. I told you guys over and over and over again. I'm fine with that. So when I talk about Bean and what I don't like, keep in mind, he has a place, he has a purpose, and he'll be fine with something here. And to Albert's point, that's exactly why he said, go right a little bit up. That's right here. He said, why talk about what he is versus the league and not what he is to who pays him? The owners think he's great. They do. And why is that? Because of what you just said.
Right.
What you just said.
Oh, God, this is madness. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying he's I'm not saying you said pandering. I'm not saying he's pandering, but I guess in a literal sense, that's what he's doing. He's getting butts in seats as far as the owner's concerned, because as Sam said, who saw Amari Cooper on the docket? I mean, that's cool, but Amari Cooper was a cleanup of something that was missed earlier in the season. And that's the thing. We bring in, Von Miller because something didn't happen earlier in the season. We missed on I can't, I'm drawing a blank now, but we're missing on people, and then we bring in a name and they're like, oh snap, Big Baller Beans at it again, like he had it on his docket the whole time. But there's a reason why that person was available. It's mid-season, whatever the case may be. And for me, when you talk about the Buffalo Bills when we had no quarterback, why were we selling out tickets? Why were we selling out games? Because Russ Brandon.
Thank you.
Because of Rochester at St. John Fisher, putting them in front of the people in Rochester, adhering to the people in Toronto. We love the Bills. We're coming there. We don't want them here. We want to go there. So that let them know, they were like, oh snap, we got a solid fan base in Toronto that will come to us, to our stadium. Syracuse, Rochester, Quebec. I've seen we used to have those season tickets. And they said we drove 10 hours from Quebec on a bus because we want to see the Bills in Buffalo. We don't want to see them anywhere. We want to see them here. We got money. We can fly wherever we want, but we want to come here in the heart of the city, but in the heart of the Bills Nation, we'll say, in the heart of where it's really popping. And that's a testament to a Brandon Beane. That's a testament to a Russ Brandon. That's a testament to guys that came before them. It's not so much the team, but it's the boosting of who we have. All this marketing. Who would have thought, the Josh Allen thing? It wasn't Josh Allen's idea to get AI for the release last year.
No.
It was Brandon Beane. It was the marketing team. This is A1. In a city this size, you need somebody like a Brandon Beane or something like that.
Thank you.
And that's why he's here. And that's why when people say he's on the hot seat, he's part of his job, but his paycheck ain't going down none. It's just like, okay, I'll keep doing this because this is my hobby now because I'm good here. But to do this, I want to do that too.
Yep.
And so far, that's what he's doing. And look at how people are reacting to the draft. This is the most diverse reaction to a draft that we've had since Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane either or have been here. I say that because Beane wasn't here in 17 and McDermott wasn't here in 26. This is the most divisive reaction we've had. Some people say it's a D. Some people say it's an A. Some people say it's a C. Some people want to get shanked over. Why do you say it's an A? Why do you say this is not unified for the first time? I have never seen a draft nationally for the Buffalo Bills be rated less than an A. Now we're at what, B minus, B plus, in that range somewhere, which is still good, but at least that's where I put it. I rated it a B. But the reason why everybody is high on it is because of the work of the marketing team, Brandon Beane, his background. And that's the part I try to get across to people. It's not poo-pooing on him, but like I said in the beginning of the show, we're just trying to show you guys the whole picture. You can take it with what you want from it, but we just want you to see that side. Maybe you didn't think about that. Maybe you didn't think about why the Bills are so viable in this climate.
The 4 P's of marketing. Let's go through this really quick. The first P is your product. What are you selling? You're selling a football team, right? Including its design, its quality, and its features. The next thing is price. Now let's park on price for a second. Do we honestly think that Brandon Beane has not done the research and has the numbers to justify PSLs and the heightening of ticket prices and the reduction of the size of the stadium? Something about the research that they've done puts into their heads that based on the numbers, they can survive upping the prices on everything, right? They can survive this. Why? Because they have figured out a business model that sustains a level of success that allows them to basically bank on a certain level of income. They have enough faithful people buying tickets, buying merchandise, chanting their names, propping them up on social media. There's enough coverage of this team nationally, locally, globally, that they feel they can afford to do this. And there's nothing we can do about it. Right? Now, that is a very direct and specific way that your owner has showed you what he thinks. That is a very direct and specific way that your general manager has showed you what he thinks. Now, here's the crazy part, right? Because we got folks in the chat saying that we're we're pretending like, you know, Bean wasn't part of helping this team get out, you know, get out of the drought and all that kind of stuff. Okay. There are several, to that point really quick, I just want to say there are several teams that have been at the bottom of the league for years. Mm-hmm. Okay. And I've started to do some of this research already, but based on what I'm seeing, there are levels behind the levels that we see in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is there are certain owners in the NFL that really don't care if they win or not. And then there are owners who are super competitive and want to win. Yep. Right? How your team stacks up against those people is really all up to the desire of your owner. If he's super competitive and wants to win, you might end up with a Les Snead or a Brett Veach or one of these other guys that are trying to do what it takes to consistently and constantly win championships. I mean, not games, right? But when you're an owner who has put his entire, I don't want to say his entire portfolio, but most of his portfolio got transferred from oil into real estate. Mm-hmm. Okay. Based on some of the research that I'm doing now and just on Terry Pegula alone, if you look at his transactions, if you look at his history of what he's been buying up recently, it's been real estate and sports. Mm-hmm. Okay. So now here's how I want to kind of cap off this particular reaction I'm having now. And I want everybody to seriously consider what I'm saying. We've mentioned on this show several times. I don't know how many other shows have mentioned this at all, but the NFL is an entertainment entity.
Yeah, somebody alluded to kind of like that in the comments earlier. I saw it.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It's an entertainment entity. What does that mean? From a business perspective, that means they are not subject to what is it? SEC regulation. Mm-hmm. Not SEC. It's who's the organization that oversees? Let me see organization.
And while you do that, I want to get caught up on the comments real quick. So no rush if my mouse works. There we go. I'll get to that in a moment because Weston, I saw that earlier. To stay with us, I'm going to touch on something you said a lot earlier. Roy said I was putting flyers on windshields when your show was started. Yes, you were. Yes, you were. Oh, we ain't forget. Trust me. Tommy said, just don't see people going bonkers positive on the Buffalo Bills. I'm sure they do, but it's not as overt as it used to be. I mean, my thing is, you know, I'm not going to name podcasters' names, but guys that sensationalize signings like Mike Danas and stuff like that. This is a nice piece, possibly, but it's not something I would devote, you know, a large sum of time talking about because he's an unknown entity. You know, he's kind of a Epinesa replacer.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go
ahead. It is the SEC. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's no SEC oversight. There's no FTC oversight, which is the Federal Trade Commission. Like there's no regulation that holds the league accountable for anything, right? And they love it that way. They can get that. That's what allows them to get away with paying players whatever they want to pay players. Mm-hmm. All of that stuff is just based on negotiations that they hold with players. But owners in general are always trying to finagle ways to make more money while paying players less. That's the nature of the business, right? Players will tell you that. People in front office, who know the owners personally would tell you that's just the nature of the business. It's what it is, right? So the reason I'm bringing all this up is if you have a league that has purposely set itself aside from how the rest of the real world works in business, and it's found a loophole that allows itself to get public funds in order to build privately owned buildings. I'm going to say that again. They have found a way to get public funds to build privately owned buildings. And yet somehow we don't see that as criminal. We relish the opportunity to do that. Or do we? Because we do hear some people getting pissed off about how much these tickets cost. We do hear some people talking bad about how much in taxes we had to pay, $850 million towards a $2 billion stadium.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember talking to Mac about his season ticket said, he's like, man, I hope the first game is in a 1 o'clock. You can't go to 1 o'clock games.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you better hope it is. He said, why? I said, because you don't want to go to that game. He said, why wouldn't I? said, I know it's historic, but you could pay for your whole season ticket off of that one game. The price that people are paying for the opener against the Lions, against anybody, now we know it's the Lions, is astronomical.
Yep.
And he doesn't have bad seats. Mel, sorry. I'm selling your tickets for you. Anybody want them? But the thing is, I've seen seats, in his respective area go for $15,000 to $2,000. $15,000 to $2,000. He has 2 of them. And he didn't pay that for that game. But the thing is, I know I can say this now because I know he's going to want to go. Yeah. But these people are making a killing. It's like parking is going to be just ridiculous. Right. I mean, if you're telling me these people are paying that and then going to jump through tables and fall asleep during the game, I don't know what to tell you. But like you said, it's you got to make the money up somehow, and it's supply and demand. Yep. It really is.
Yep. But that supply and demand is built on A, the reputation of the team.
Yep.
B, the valuation of the product,
mm-hmm.
and C, people's perception of the product.
Yep.
Right? Those are 3 of the fundamentals of building a product that you want to market. Right? So what I guess the point that we're trying to make here to everybody that's watching us, everybody that's been tolerating this conversation for the last 20 minutes.
We appreciate you, 43.
This is a business for the owner.
Mm-hmm.
This is a business model for the owner, and it's a business model for the general manager. They have found a way to hire talent and hire a specific type of talent that allows them to be too good to be bad, but not good enough to be great. They stay right there in that middle stage,
mm-hmm.
right? And here's what's interesting when you think about where the Bills are, where the Ravens have been, where the Buccaneers have been, and some of these other teams that are kind of like in that upper middle chunk of the NFL. When you think about the economy, there's the 1%ers, then there's the wealthy, then there's the upper class, then there's the upper middle class, then there's the lower middle class, then there's the lower class, and then there's just poverty down at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
In order for that hierarchy to stay where it is, and for everybody that fit into those categories to stay where they are, is if those people at the very bottom that are impoverished stay impoverished. If at any point in time one of those other stages either accumulates too much wealth or not enough wealth, it throws off the balance of the entire hierarchy of classes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, the economy in general works the same way. Anytime you throw off, one of the laws, or you just decide to stop following the rules, like if everybody decided to stop following the rules today, the whole economy falls apart. Everything about life as we know it falls apart.
Yeah.
The NFL is the same way. There have to be teams that are elite. There have to be teams that are pretty damn good and have a shot. And then there have to be that class of teams that are just at the bottom of the league. It's like that every year.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing has happened with the schedule. Right? So let's do this. We're going to park this conversation on Brandon Beane. We can spend all episode on that if you really want.
I just wanted, I can, but I didn't want to ignore Tommy. He said, let's see what this team can do with the new head coach, new vision, new scheme. Exactly. We talked about it a bunch of times. And that's why, I have to preface and be careful, believe it or not, of what I say about Brandon Beane. It's not emotional. The stuff I say is never emotional. The stuff I say, unless it's right after a game, like the post games we do. I remember Denver, fire everybody. I'm tired of this. Screw it. Yeah, that was emotional. But, and he said also he feels like he's Brandon Beane's lawyer. You shouldn't have to, because that's the thing. I'm not sitting here trying to argue about somebody's job, somebody's livelihood, somebody's in third. And I had another one. Was there? Let me just peek at it real fast. Oh yeah, T-Bone. Demonius Lex. So would it be possible for him to stay as president of operations but focus on marketing and hire a new GM has a resume that shows the potential for a better team. But yeah, 100%. If he can't do it, if being the president of football operations is too much for him, he's got a job. He has. I don't think he has any heat on his back. The only thing he could do to be let go is refuse to give up the GM spot. That's the only thing he can do. If he does a bad job and he refuses, I'm not giving it up. Yeah. I'm good. I can do this. Like, you know what? We got to get rid of you, dude, because you're great in here, but you're killing us there. Right. That's the only thing he can do to get fired, in my opinion. I don't see any conversation of firing Brandon Beane this year or anytime in the future as logical or having any merit. So, Tommy, there you are. I still don't want to take it to Brandon Beane Island, but I think he deserves to be a part of the organization. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. The challenge I think for Beane getting any type of, demotion or even just a promotion to only, president of football operations and not having to deal with general manager responsibilities is, if, how can I say this? The only way that Brandon Beane would reach that point is if the public perception on him and the internal perception on him is he can't get the job done as a general manager, right? Now, how does that perception come about? Well, that perception has to come about by what? The team basically going through the same stuff they went through with Sean McDermott. Getting close, not getting there. Close but no cigar every time for however many years that takes for people to notice, hey, this guy's had a shot now for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years and hasn't done it. Maybe he's the problem and not the coach, right? The problem with that is how are you even going to get to that place if you have a general manager that has been as good as Brandon Beane has at covering his own butt? Because the first thing he's going to do is if things start to go left, we're going to start to look at this rookie head coach as, maybe we need to bring in a veteran, right? And I'm going to tell you what Brandon Beane's probably going to do after that. He's going to go and try to find a guy like a John Fox. That's, because that's Terry Pegula likes doing that, as you pointed out. And I think part of that has to do with Brandon Beane too, because the marketing aspect of that is you want to appease the people. And the way you do that is by going in the opposite direction of whatever it was that they were frustrated with so that they can forget everything they were frustrated at. Now, what does that do? When you alleviate the frustrations as a whole and you show them a completely different picture, their pockets open back up because they're not mad anymore. Right? So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Like I don't come up with these hypotheses just out of my you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like they come from a foundational way of thinking and information that allows me to kind of predict all of this stuff. So
I'm not that creative, trust me. I wish I was, but I'm not.
But I'm just saying all that to say, at the end of the day, I don't think there is a circumstance where Brandon Beane is going to end up getting demoted at all. I think it's going to have to be, Brandon Beane has lost his star quarterback, and the Bills are now back to square one with trying to find a quarterback. And he is no longer and by he, I mean Terry Pegula. Terry Pegula is now no longer in favor with the fans because we've now gone 15, 20 years of almost but no cigar. And the only person we have left to blame is Terry Pegula. That's the only time I can see him getting upset enough to turn around and turn his back on Brandon Beane.
Yeah.
Other than that, Brandon Beane is going to keep cycling guys in and cycling guys out and blaming it on the coaches. Well, he just couldn't make it work with these players. He's not good enough. He's a rookie. Okay, let's bring somebody else in. Good. Oh, it's an older guy. Well, this guy is a little bit too old, too long in the tooth. Maybe we need some new energy in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to keep going back and forth.
Yeah, Jan, we'll talk about it in their newfound Discord that we're going to get you because he said he sent the email out. So we'll have you in there tonight.
I sent him the link back.
Oh, cool. So you in there. So, you're welcome and sorry. You'll see what I mean later. But actually, we never talk about it. You have access now to the member content that we posted a while back. Now you have access to go back and watch the archives on how we really are and how my mouth really works when my mom can't hear it.
Yeah, there's some videos there for sure.
Yeah, but yeah,
enjoy those.
To your schedule, I'm interested in your thought process here. Where you at?
So. The schedule. I mean, there's people who are talking about, like the analysis goes so deep in this thing. There are people who are pointing out, how, the like when the bye week is and how, how many rest weeks there are in terms of when we play a primetime game. We've got, and then the teams that we're playing after those points and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's so underwhelming at the end of it all. You know what I'm saying? And this is part of what we were talking about at the beginning of, before we started the show.
Yep.
I really don't have a ton of thoughts on it, just trying to do what everybody else does and, hyper analyze this thing and all the advantages and disadvantages. At the end of the day, how good are the Bills?
Yeah. And how good are these teams that we think are good?
Yes.
There's so much context is missing right now. To stay on that point, I'm looking at our second game where he talks to everybody. We got a short week 2. Good. Because I think you can only have like 2 short weeks a season or something like that.
Yeah.
And how great is it to get it out of the way where most of your team is supposed to be healthy unless something really goes awry week 1. And who is that? That's who's week 1?
The Texans.
If the whole team just falls off the cliff and just tears everything week 1, yeah, we're screwed week 2. But how great thou art to have a home game Thursday night on a short week with the whole team still available.
Yeah.
That's a blessing.
That is a
I'd
blessing.
rather have it in week 2 than week 12 when you assume that the season catches up with people that have these nagging injuries. Josh Allen jumps over somebody else and hurts something because he wants to, not because he wants to, because he feels he has to put the team on his back in a strange way when you're 30. He's going to find out this year what 30 really means. I feel like he's going to find out this year. Not he's not going to miss time, but it's going to be time where he get up there and feel a little slower.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the last year? Yeah. Last year was 29. Now it's 30. Wait till if you played a 40. But it's interesting that people, like you said, they overanalyze, they hyperanalyze, they fear stuff. When I thought Joe Brady, the coach said, put the ball down. And yeah, I say it. I hate to say it because it's kind of just stupid to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, put the ball down. The schedule says, shut up and put the ball down. We're going to play.
Yep.
You knew you were playing 17 games. You knew you were playing 8 or 9 games at home. You might have a London game. You might have a Belize game, wherever the hell they play down. You may have one, but you know what the schedule outlines. You know where you're playing because it says earlier before the schedule drops, you're going to these 8 teams, these 9, you're going there. Or playing them not at home. Right. So you're planning on getting on a plane somewhere. So this is not a shock to them. I think and listening to like Talking Buffalo, listening to you, listening to Shout and Buffalo Plus. Okay, I get the merit to knowing what the schedule is. I don't care who the team is. It's more so, okay, I have to figure out where am I going to buy my plane ticket to. I have to figure out, what hotels I'm staying in, what PTO days I need. Okay, I get that. Okay, I'll give you that. But then I hear people complaining about the Bills had to play on. Exactly. J. Ham said they got to play us. Exactly. That's my point. That's the point. They got to play us. Mm-hmm. Why are we? Oh, it's a bloodbath. This. They got to play us. You got to go to that brand new huge stadium, which is hilarious. I thought about it. How is a stadium that big smaller than the stadium we used to have?
Yo, have you seen the screens in that stadium and how small they are, bro? Like, it's embarrassing. It's like, yo, this joint is supposed to be new. Why do we have just regular flat screen TVs up there in the stadium? It's ridiculous.
And I'm like, okay, so the one underground had 70-something thousand. They downsized that one from 80 plus to 70 to whatever. And this one's got 66, so it's downsized further, but it's monstrous.
Yeah. I
mean, it's more so concourse and, all that stuff. The seats, okay, cool. But the rest of it is like all this extra space, which we need. Because if you walk through the concourse, especially before they did the renovations at Ralph or Rich Stadium as it was when I was a kid. Yeah, you walking, you bumping shoulder to shoulder. You fellowshipping in that stadium. You really fellowshipping. So, so I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay. We're talking about, is there a direct flight from Buffalo to Belize? Nah, not yet. I'll push for it just for you. But yeah, but that says we need a primetime uniform, which these are the thoughts that fans have, and it's cool. Me personally, I believe it or not, do subscribe to put the ball down. I just don't want my coach saying that.
Right.
Like I said, I'd be a hypocrite if I didn't say I would watch them play at LaSalle Park or watch them play at UB Stadium and then say, put the ball down is stupid. Where are we putting it down? What is the other stuff? But for the lay person, what jersey do I have to buy? What players do I have to wear? What are their numbers? What is it? What seats do I have? What are concessions? This is all part of the game day experience.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to give people credit, and I have to respect people that like that kind of stuff. I just don't care. You know, if Mac was here, he'd tell you, Key don't buy a jacket at the stadium. I don't. Because I'm like, I took Ken to the Globetrotters game, and I'm like, it's a Friday, you know, me, him, T, his best friend, and his best friend's mom, and his little brother were here.
Mm-hmm.
And like, Friday unwinding, cool. I don't care. They want snacks. I'm going to get it. Bet. I'm gonna get me a beer. $20 for a beer. I'm not gonna get me a beer. Cause in my Keyshawn brain, I'm like, I can get a whole 6-pack. I get 2 6-packs for one beer here. I'll wait.
$20, yeah.
And I sure did. I sure went to Tops and did my thing and got the premium stuff too. But you know, when I go with my friend, when we had season tickets, when I go with Mac, they're going to, I just go cheer them on. Go beers, go nachos, go. I'm not buying it. You want something? Nope. I'll sit this out. But people are coming back with double fists, and they're mad when they cut them off in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's over with. Oh, I thought I was going to get that. Dude, you spent $80 in beers, just you, for what, 4 beers? And you're mad? I don't have that. My pockets don't run that deep. But those are the things that, they didn't have to play us as they have to play us. I didn't know that was a tagline. I've heard them say it, but yeah, they have to play us. I like that. Because that flies in the face. Everybody talks about how bad the schedule is. They got to play us too. And you don't want to come to hostile high mark. You don't want Bills Mafia infiltrating your stadium. In which case, I think the Sabres have a lot to learn. Because if you look at that, I was pissed yesterday.
You know how many Canadians sweaters or jerseys?
Yeah, sweaters.
You know how many Canadians?
A million of them.
Like, they were all over the place. I even gave a few of them a ride to the arena, bro.
The worst part about this is I'm listening to the game on the ride into work before I turn it on. And I hear, we must have scored, but where's the horn? Oh, it was the Canucks fans. I can hear them on the radio. It sounds like our people in our stadium in a playoff game.
Yep.
I mean, that's embarrassing. You go to Montreal, try to buy a ticket in Montreal. As a Sabres, go try to buy one. Tell me how it goes.
So my daughter had a band recital last night.
Yeah.
The band recital started at 6:30.
Mm-hmm. There was rushing about 6:45.
We didn't get out of there until 7:30, 7:40, somewhere around there. Like I think by the time we got home, the first period had just ended.
Mm-hmm.
And as the band is going on, you know, like between transitions from 5th grade to 6th grade to 7th grade, they were giving us the score of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time they switched, it was Sabres up 2-1, right? Immediately after they started the next song, that's when the Canadians scored. So I showed my wife real quick, and she was like, right? So then they do the next transition. Sabres are up 3-2. Everybody, losing their brain.
And the kid's like, I'm killing it. I'm doing my thing. I don't care about you. Just keep playing.
So it stayed 3-2 the whole rest of the recital, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I said to the wife, I said, hey, go on home. I'll grab a baby girl and shoot her home. As soon as she walks out. And watching the game on the way home, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, like same thing. Into the first period. So I'm thinking we're going to get home. We're going to have some dinner. We're going to settle. Because
celebrate, yeah.
Yeah, we're at home. We got the lead. The Sabres have been, scoring like consistently.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had, they're kind of used to playing this team now. All right, we about to get this lead. We about to go up 3-2, and then we might go 7, but that's fine because we'll win at home. No big deal. These boys gave up 6 goals.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there shocked, like,
what's happening?
This feels like the damn Bills all over again.
Yeah. And the worst part is it's 5-3, and they pull Luke, and then they put in Lion, and as soon as Lion gets in 6 goal, like, whoa, wait a minute, I was talking about what I said.
That was immediate too.
Yeah, it was right away. I'm like, Laura, that's Luke in it, or that's Lion. She's like, what? I was like, yeah. I said they pulled Luke in, and we just scored. She's like, oh. I'm upset, Key. I'm upset. But, and this is the thing. J-Ham, I don't know if you're any kind of hockey fan at all, but we actually have almost a watch party in the Discord.
Yeah, we do.
Believe it or not, we almost have a watch party for this thing. So, J-Ham said, I don't watch hockey. Well, you will now because Laura's in the scene. Look at his faces. But no, Videsh said that Canada is the hockey capital. Yeah, but they say Buffalo is the hockey capital as well. So you would expect to not get run out of your own. So I'm hoping this is a learning experience for the Sabres.
Mm-hmm.
They got to the second round. Good. We don't want the ride to end, but it's not like it's a failure of a season.
Yeah.
But I hope the fans learn.
Canadians just look more polished.
Yeah.
I know they're a super young team like we are, but I mean, man, like they just the speed that they seem to have in covering us, in moving the puck, and I'm not like, again, I'm one of the most amateur hockey watchers. But like I could see a difference between their speed, their control, how they control the zones, like all of this. They just look like the better team, and they have something we don't have, which is a number one goalie.
Yeah,
a guy that they can depend on and leave him in there, even though he gives up 4 or 5 goals.
And he's a rookie.
He's a rookie, bro.
Yeah. This is it for him. He's just started.
They're a young team. They got a rookie goalie that's looking that good.
Yeah. So I mean, so we need a goalie. But like, we got to worry about Lindy Ruff. Lindy Ruff is on a 1-year contract. Are they going to bring him back? Are they going to do whatever? So obviously we're not going to derail the Buffalo Bills stay on this podcast. Don't leave, please. But I thought that tied in really well to we're talking about the stadium at Highmark versus what we saw at the KeyBank Center, where it's supposed to be a ruckus crowd. They're selling $5 tickets to go have a watch party tomorrow. So you're going to pay $5 to a watch party, but you're letting Montreal Canadian fans buy the ticket to the actual game. Don't do that. Just don't.
Just buy the ticket.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, here's the thing. The reason there's so many Canadians fans that can come and watch a game here is because it's so cheap.
Yeah.
If it is, then just us fill up the arena.
I would go, but I got to work. So yeah.
I get that. And listen, there are plenty of people out there like you and I who have to work.
Yeah.
But everybody else, like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, in all seriousness, everybody that I picked up in a Sabres sweater or any type of Sabres gear whatsoever, I was dropping them off at other people's houses or dropping them off at bars.
Yeah.
That's where they're going to watch the game, not going to the arena.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, the tickets are too much. How do you expect your team to feel supported the way the Canadians felt supported? Meanwhile, you got people paying arms and legs and balls and penises for season tickets to the Buffalo Bills stadium to watch a Buffalo Bills game. Like, they are giving organs to go watch these games. Like, women are having hysterectomies to go watch these games. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Like, fine, I'll give y'all that.
That was great. That was actually great.
It's unbelievable.
But it's true. It's true.
Shocking as this may seem, and I don't think this is a coincidence. I had the this is kind of a side note.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the Bills website right now.
Yeah.
And I had the schedule up while we were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I just happened to look on the section under news, right? And you have news features from the locker room, top storylines, top 3 things we learned, what they're saying, corporate news, the usual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's this entire section that says Josh Allen. Why? What? I just found this. Why? There's a video here. New message, new vibe. Josh Allen on dad life surprises, team mantras, foot surgery, and the Sabres. Josh Allen addresses the media during OTAs. Okay, fine. That one should be there. 100%. Josh Allen joins Super Bowl Live to discuss injury and new head coach. Maybe. But all of this has to be one individual section separate from the rest of the team. Here's why I'm bringing this up. They tried to tell us that the head coach decision was objective. We tried to pretend like we don't know this guy at all. Keyshawn, I got a job I want to offer you, and I'm finna pretend like I ain't never known you a day in my life. Yeah. You gonna get the job? You might get the job. You might not. I as of this moment, Keyshawn, I don't know you. We're just having an interview right now.
That's it.
What the hell do they they think we are. It's like they think we're idiots.
Right. Yeah. Your super chat.
God.
Marcus, send us some support, fellas. Keep
Appreciate
up the great
that.
work and go Bills. Yes, indeed. Yes,
Hey,
indeed. Go Bills.
Just some news in case I forget to say it during the close. If you so there's a link to our merch page. If you go to our merch page, I think it's a fourth wall link that's in the description of this video. It's in the description of every video really. But if you click that link, it takes you to our merch page. At the bottom of our merch page, there's a section there for donations. If you want to donate and just support us there, if you're more of a private person and you don't really want to do super chats. I'm working on getting the system together for other forms of donation like Cash App, Zelle, all that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to figure out like how to connect that to everything so that it's not all like personal stuff. You know what I'm saying? So while I figure that out, you can go and donate there, and that goes to a separate account just for the show. So
Jay Ham said you'd be surprised how many people like that section. Or no, yeah, Jay Ham said that. Actually, I wouldn't. I'd be more surprised if people don't like. Yeah,
I mean, probably.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Again, he's the most popular player on the team, but that was kind of my point in bringing it up. Is this is yet another marketing tactic?
Yeah.
When you go to their website, they give you a whole section just to go to the one guy that you know on the team. Because guess what? You probably don't know anybody else.
And I'm saying, like, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But let's not pretend like you're not doing this stuff on purpose. And that's the part that frustrates me. It's the equivalent of that guy that you knew in high school that came in dressed to the nines, and it just looked like he was trying so hard every time, but he always tried to act like he just woke up that way.
What? This off, man. Sorry, my kick around stuff.
We know you took 3 hours to find that outfit and go shopping for the right shoes to match that.
And that lay right on the bed. I'm gonna knock on bed today. I'm gonna put these bad boys on right here, and then he sleep next to it, not so the creases in it. Yeah.
That's what the Bills are coming off as with stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you might be trying a little too hard, but you just deny it the entire time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that
just happened.
The Josh Allen section, that was up there the entire time.
We had that in 2016. Really? That's hard to do. It's really hard to do, but I digress. Interesting. How'd you do that?
You didn't know Josh Allen was on the website since 2016?
Didn't know he was going to be a Bill. Didn't know he was on the website. Didn't know.
You know who didn't know?
Oh.
Big Baller B.
Big Baller
That's
B.
who knew. That's who knew.
How much was Singletary section? Damn. If Tommy's still here, he's not anymore. Let's see. Are we going to home over there? No.
I don't have the money to go to home over there
I think my son's going to college in 10 years, so I have to make sure I'm ready for that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
How much are the tickets to the home opener right now? Let me see. Let me see how much these tickets are.
I don't even know.
Bills. Let me see.
I don't even think I want to know. Nosebleeds are whatever.
Okay.
I'm going to guess the average ticket for a Bills game to the Bills opener is probably $600. Average.
So the first tickets that come up are for, that's for August 15th. I don't want that. My bad. Let me see.
But I can't even afford the blue and red game.
There are, here it is. Okay. So September 17th, Detroit Lions. Okay. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
The cheapest ticket available for that game.
Mm-hmm.
From Ticketmaster.
Mm-hmm.
And they do offer PayPal with the buy now,
That's
pay
all
later.
you need to know. That's all you need to know.
Okay. So if you want to stretch this payment out over the next 5 years, you can probably do that. $684.04.
Yep. Yep.
That's the cheapest ticket, bro.
10 easy installments of $60.
That is section 428, row 8.
And I don't even know what that is. That's up there somewhere.
So let me see. Let me blow this.
What up, Richie?
this graphic up here so that we can see. Boy, the graphic quality on this is terrible. Jeez.
That's how bad the seat is. The seat don't even exist.
I know.
They just give you a blanket on top of the stadium.
Oh, so it looks like the 400s are like the
Standing room?
the top bowl.
And from what I've seen from that, it's way up there.
Yeah, so the furthest you could possibly be away from the field,
except when you sit on the top of the roof,
is $700.
Yep.
Right. So let's get a little bit closer. Let's see here. So I just want to see. They got a lot of Section 400 tickets. So this is incredible. So Section 434, row 23, $924.38. And that's like top bowl, but from the corner angle looking down on the
gotta have it.
Right. Very interesting to see where they have so end zone section 448 row 1, $955.19. You can't make the stuff up, bro.
Nope. Steve said that's about the average for Knicks regular season tickets. Not that bad. That's pretty bad. For the Knicks, they're good now. They're good now, but think about the years that they weren't. Think about having to pay that kind of money to go watch them lose to everybody, except the Nuggets.
If you can afford to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in all seriousness, if you have the disposable income to pay that and go, do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm married with 2 children in the house. One of them just moved out and 2 cars. You know what I mean? Like, I got bills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time to be setting money aside for a game that I can watch for free on TV and have the shortest possible bathroom line there is right around the corner from my couch.
As many uses I have, topped by beers, I'm gonna need that.
You know, and again, if I was making enough to afford to go, sure, I would go to, a game or 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't typically enjoy, the live game experience in most football games, just in general.
Yeah.
I like the comfort of being able to pause, rewind, analyze something, or, hear myself think, or, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. Yeah. But it's too much damn money to be paying for a ticket.
Honestly, I think the college experience is way better than pro experience. So, I mean, I pay a lot more for a college game than I would for a pro game. You get the band, you get the students, you get the whatever.
Where the poor people see that.
I was going to say your house, but I didn't want to disrespect you. It's everybody's house.
Right? My house.
Not you specifically, but all of us as a collective.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there we go.
Super chat from Richie Fresh. Appreciate that. Says Sabres fans, etc. pulled the same crap with playoff tickets. Yeah, they did. They skyrocketed. They eventually went way down. It's like, can y'all actually afford your PSLs, etc. if you have to do this? Are you really a fan? I don't know what to think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. These are, like you said, these are what do you call it? Resales.
Yeah.
So they're gonna skyrocket when people don't have a market for them. They're gonna come down, but I don't know what they are. From the box office, which obviously is not that high. But when people have the audacity to say, "I'm gonna put my ticket on this auction block for $1,000," who wants it? And everybody, and as you see it start moving up.
I listen to everybody watching. Here's a great business idea. Okay, if you have the money to afford a ticket, buy one later in the season. It's kind of a gamble, but if you buy a big time home game, man, if the Bills are in it and it's a game they have to have in order to make the playoffs, and it's a primetime game, boy, I tell you what, you're going to make some dough on that there ticket.
Yeah.
People will pay to get to a game like that if it means that much. And it could be people from out of town looking to buy for the most part. It's
going to be like that Dave Chappelle skit where he was married to Oprah and he had the crown on his head, was holding the money.
Yep.
Hand over fist. Yeah, but I think I like how the Sabres used to do it too with the tiers. They, obviously is 41 games for them, so they can afford to do it, but they tier it gold, silver, and bronze games. Gold obviously is like Toronto's and what's not, but I've been to a lot of Sabres games and it's fun regardless. The same with the Bills.
I like Sabres games a lot more than I like Bills games.
Yeah. And that's the atmosphere.
Yep.
It's rocking in there. It's rocking in the Bills stadium, but
it
it's
feels
something
more
to it.
Yeah, it feels more like family friendly.
It is. It's a lot more family friendly.
Yeah.
A lot more family friendly.
My children love it.
So yeah, we got to do a game this year. I didn't know the Bandits were pretty much done. I thought that was a thing, but I guess we'll wait till next year.
Yep, Pagula owns them too.
I know. Sad.
He owns them. He sold he sold 2 teams. He sold a women's soccer team a while back, and there was one more team that he sold. I think it was a baseball team or something like that. But
yeah, and the only other thing about the schedule, that I just can't get with is people that complain about the Bills having to play on holidays. So what?
I'm gonna be at home.
Exactly, and that's the thing. We're complaining about the Bills, not us, but people are complaining about the Bills playing on holidays. But you're gonna watch the football game regardless.
Yep,
you're gonna watch Thanksgiving football. People do it. It's a pastime. I can't wait to sit and eat dinner early and sit on the couch. Now you get to watch your team. Christmas. I was at the Broncos game Christmas Eve. Had to be 2012-ish. I was there. Tim Tebow was a quarterback. It was a fun time. But my point in saying all this is, how many of us have to work on holidays? How many of us have to do things we don't want to do on holidays? You make the conscious decision whether you want to watch the game live or not.
Yep.
You're going to watch football regardless. I can see if you weren't going to watch at all. And it's like, oh, nah, damn, I got to watch the team. I didn't plan on it. But it's a lot of complaining, man. That's what drives me nuts. And that's why the schedule release thing gets on my nerves. Because it's like, it's 17 games.
Yeah.
The potential slots. I do work on holidays. Tommy, I work on, let's see. The only time, you got to think about it. The only time I don't work on holidays is when they actually fall on my regular days off. I have to go. And New Year's Eve is the only one that I don't like. New Year's Eve is the one because it's overnight. You're supposed to be, celebrating the ball drop with your kid, especially if you have a kid or somebody that's a tradition. Drinking, eating good, just acting a fool, and I got to be there getting yelled at and talked to like an idiot, which sucks. But I digress. When you play a sport, when you sign up to do this job, or you're reporting, and you got these podcasters, or you got the what do you call it, the journalists. I gotta freaking get away from my family and write an article.
That's hard. That I get, but that's your job.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's your job. And like somebody like you or me or most of you guys who have to work on a schedule that your job doesn't close 24/7. They don't give a damn about you. I've had since February I've had 3 deaths in the family. Ask me how many PTOs I've had. How many bereavement days I've taken. I had to take a half day to take documentation down to a lawyer. That's where we are. And
that's
so I'm
going on.
Huh? Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. we're like not even in the middle of it yet. But
wow.
Yeah, it's a pain in the butt. But and while I'm doing this, I do want to address people, on the heels of Mother's Day real fast. I learned one of my not coworkers, one of my airport family members lost his mother. And another coworker lost their mother within like the last 2 days.
Wow.
Which is insane. So regardless of how you feel about a friend, a family member, a coworker, whatever the case may be, just call them up. I love you, man. You never know. You never know. You don't want that last thought, that last moment, that last conversation to be a bad one. Nothing is that important. Nothing is that bad that you can't say, you know what? I can't stand you. I can't deal with you. But I hope everything happens in your life that you need to happen. So if you haven't done that, if you're holding grudges, try to let them go. Just let them go. Because I can tell you right now, there's people that just wish they could be in our positions. Because I can tell you right now, when I get off this podcast, 2 things are going to happen. Well, 3 things. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to run to my car because you're going to say drive safe. I'm going to say probably can't do it. And then I'm going to call my mom. And she better answer. So get home. You have plenty of time. Do your shopping. I'm going to call you and we will talk. But yeah, that's something that we have to kind of nip in the bud, especially in this climate, the way the world is going right now, the country, our civilization, our villages, if you will. Mm-hmm. You got to be tight, get home, get there. But enough of that. Yeah. Back to, Actually, did you have more on the schedule?
No. Before we hit the next topic, really quick, I want to put out there. I'm starting a new program. It's going to be starting. I kind of want to start it today. Every month we're going to be we're going to be giving away merch of our own. We might give away, jerseys. We might give away, Bills, paraphernalia, whatever the case may be. We're gonna do that, once a month. But there's some challenges involved in that. Okay, the first thing is, in order to qualify for that program, you got to be a member.
Mm-hmm.
The second part of this is you're gonna have to answer a series of questions, and there's gonna be a point system associated with that. I'll put the breakdown for that in our Discord chat so that you can know what the rules are and all that kind of stuff to be able to play the game. But I thought this might be kind of fun to do this now, since I'm shocked at something I'm seeing. So we'll start the game off like this. And the person closest to the right answer, without going and looking, obviously, I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds to put in the chat what they think the answer to this question is. The Thursday night game against the Detroit Lions, what do you think is the most expensive ticket available for that game right now?
You want me to answer it? Or you
This is according to Ticketmaster.com.
You want me to answer? Or you just asking me?
I'm just like your general thought. What do you think?
My hands are not moving, but I'm gonna say the most expensive ticket to get into the stadium on Ticketmaster right now. Are suites included?
Yes.
20,000.
Suites and clubs are included.
I'm gonna say 20,000. That's
20,000?
my guess.
Okay. You don't qualify for free merchandise.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take it later. It's okay.
It's fine. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. We got 30K, we got 15K, 18K, 10 grand. Tommy, you stuck, bro. You stuck. 12K. Videsh says 40K. You can't do like 40K plus. This ain't the Price is Right. You gotta get as close as you can.
$1.
While people are still filling in for the next 15 seconds, let's get to the super chat here. All right, Richie Fresh says, I booked a trip to Vegas, but someone explained to me how tickets right now for the Raiders are $400 a ticket. Last I saw, they were terrible. Probably come down, hopefully. Yeah, I agree. Hopefully.
Well, my thought on that's probably about right. Why? Because it's not so much the Raiders, it's the experience around the Raiders. It's what do they call the thing? The sphere, the globe, whatever the hell that thing is called. Mm-hmm. Then what's right outside of the arena? Vegas. They're going to capitalize on Vegas. Come to Vegas and see us, see all the casinos, see all the hotels, see all the vibes that we have. We know we suck as a football team, but you get more than football when you come here to Vegas. And that's the thing that the Buffalo Bills need to learn how to tap into that as well. Vegas. And plus, how much? Think about this. What's the cost of living in Vegas? The cost of living in Vegas is astronomical. So they have to supply it somehow. So I get it.
Okay, so time is up for guesses. Let me see. And again, I have to go by people who are members. If you're not a member, you can't play. It's only $1.99 if you want to get in on this, right? There's
I'm
a lot
not
of
even
stuff
a member,
you get with the membership.
I can't look at our premium content. Isn't that messed up? I'm in the premium content and can't look at the premium content.
Oh, hey, that's what it is, man.
You see how he is? You see how he do me?
Bro, how are you? No, you have the sign in.
No, I have that, but me as keys.
Yo, I know. Yeah, if you want to watch,
I gotta go through the rigmarole. I'm like, hell with this. I was there. I know what it was.
I was there, but I want to watch it. I don't want to pay $1.99 for that. Okay, so who won? Who got as close as possible to the number without going over, obviously? And that person was bang, Slim Nady. You got the closest. As close as you could possibly get. So let's get Slim Nady on the board. And Slim Nate's got 1 point now. Okay, so here's how the game works. Whoever's got the most points, and I'm going to be asking, random questions every episode throughout the month. And whoever's got the most points at the end of the month, you get free merch, whatever we're giving away for that month. You get it. We'll send it to you, right? The most expensive ticket for the Thursday night game, season opener for the Buffalo Bills against the Lions is, drum roll, please, $123,250.
Hold it.
That is for the 716 Club. Section C204, row 2.
When your section only starts with a number, that's how you know. It's not even a number. It's just it's a whole name for this section.
Yeah. And obviously, like I said, we included club seats or whatever, but the next closest ticket to that, because Nate said 18K. The next closest ticket to that was section VIP 7, which is in the Founders Club, and that one is $18,487.50. As if the 2 quarters at the end of that large number are absolutely necessary.
Yep.
Like, never mind the thousands of dollars, you still owe us 50 cents at the end of all
That's
that.
it.
Like, what are we doing?
Like, we don't, and pennies don't exist anymore, so we got to round up.
Right. So you're paying 75, 25, or 50. None of this 15 or 35 or no. Nope. Full quarter marks.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep. That's no, Samson. Yep. A game.
Did you know, bro, that sadly, Sal Capaccio's tenure.
How'd you know I was going to? How'd you know that's what I was talking about? How'd you know? Did you look at my notes and went to the bathroom?
I promise I didn't.
I left them open right in
on
public
everything.
view. I had them right in public view. Ah, Jesus. Man.
Oh, Mark. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. So Mark, here's what you got to do. So in the description of this video, there is an email link, right? You click that email link and just let us know, hey, I signed up for the membership, and I will send you the link for our Discord chat. You can get in there and let everybody know that you are now a part of the inner circle. Everybody say hi to Mark when he pops in there. And then obviously now, because you're a member, you get access to play in the game, and you get discounts on merch. You get access to our membership videos that are there from last year. We're going to be putting some new ones out as soon as we can.
And Walter said, for 123K, I better be sitting next to Josh Allen on the bench. Man, you're an easy ticket. For 123K, I better be standing next to James Cook and Josh Allen on the field. I better have a jersey with a helmet and shoulder pads for 120. I better be on the field for a key down with a real play assignment.
Yo, I better be the quarterback doing a quarterback sneaks. I'm scoring a touchdown for $123,000.
And I don't want those Make-A-Wish ones where they like stand aside and let me No, I want a key assignment.
Yep.
I'm trying to block Myles Garrett or somebody.
On a primetime game, I'm banging the drum. Get out of the way, Peerless Price. Get out of the way, Lee Evans, or whoever else is coming to bang that drum. I'm doing it.
And subsequently, then running on the field to plan a mark.
Yo, if you pay $123,000 and you can run on the field during the game and nobody can tackle you. Yo, imagine that VIP status. You just take your shirt off, take your pants off, and you just run on the field.
That's my cue.
And nobody can do anything about it. All the security guards are holding everybody. No. Let him run.
They got a little buzz on their side. Like, oh, okay.
He paid for this.
Everybody on guard. Okay, what's that?
Thank you for the super chat. What asked if you are GFK? I don't know what that means. I'm too old.
I don't
too old. Too many grays in my beard.
I don't participate in gang warfare.
Whatever that is. My daughter be doing that stuff all the time, just making up gang signs.
Yeah,
like what is that?
But no, I will be wide receiver 5. No, I'll be wide receiver 3. For 123, wide receiver 3. I'm running a skinny post against press man. That's where this is going.
40 Keys is bowled over at the 30-yard line. He just ran about 25 yards.
Took him 8 minutes to get there, but
fresh out of breath. The ball went his way, but it hit him in the butt.
Right. You can't sit up because Josh Allen threw it as hard as he could out of spite.
Right. The play's basically over because everybody is like waiting on you to get the catch. But they know you're too tired to catch it, so Josh Allen just throws it at your butt.
Wait for me to get up. Got to call immediate timeout. But yeah, no, about Sal Capaccio. No, I you know what? You can say what you want about Sal. And the reason why we don't like, well, I don't say we don't like, but the reason why we had grievances with Sal is because he was one of us. Sal Capaccio became Sal Capaccio by bucking the system so much. You know, if it wasn't for John Murphy, it wasn't for yeah, definitely I'll be the last one up with the smoke, the lights, Benny the Butcher playing. Everything would have to happen for me to come out there. I want my name on a wall of fame for
there's so many ways we can go with that conversation, bro. I love it. We'll be here all night just thinking of stuff we would do for $123,000 in the game.
But yeah, Sal Capaccio is he is a fan. Sal Capaccio lost track of what he was. When you listen to where he was 10 years ago, whatever it was, we couldn't wait to get John Murphy off the radio because we all couldn't stand the fact he would go at you for saying something against the fans, against the Bills, or whatever. Then Sal Capaccio comes along and on GR, and you know you can tell in his heightened cadence, his speed of talk, you can hear the passion come through. You're like, I like this guy.
Yeah,
I like this guy. And then he goes to the sideline. He's like, you know, now he's telling you what the Bills do because that's what he's paid to do. Guys, look here. This is what I was tired of hearing. Guys, look, listen. I don't want to hear that, but. Now, without Sal Capaccio being on the sideline, he can tell us what he knows and what he thinks in uncertain and ungoverned terms. You know, now me, this is a guy's dream job. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know Sal. I can tell you for fact, this is this guy's dream job.
Yep.
You know, being on the sideline with the team that you grew up loving, the team that you grew up covering, the team that you went to college with the dream of hopefully one day being able to cover. Just being ripped out of here for somebody that's not even that good. I don't care. Vilify me. I don't even care about Steve Tasker. I don't put him on a pedestal. I don't put him anywhere in the greats. I don't put him in annals of time. I don't care. You know, he was already a sideline, not sideline. It was in the booth a while ago, and it was boring. I don't want to hear Tasker. I don't listen to One Bills Live because of Steve Tasker and Chris Brown. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know. And the reason why they took them is because they know they're going to push this team's company line. Like you said earlier, you know, Brandon Beane, whoever, had it not been for that Jeremy and Joe conversation with Brandon Beane, would it occur? No, I don't think it will. Because Sal's not that kind of guy. I don't think it will.
You don't think so? You don't think he'll go back to the way he was? I think he was kind of unfiltered before.
Well, when I read that, I'm thinking.
Oh, he's just gonna go at the Bills.
Yeah,
now
he's gonna yeah. But no, Tommy, I don't care about Steve Tasker. He played, whatever.
Right.
You know, is he anybody's favorite player? He revolutionized special teams. This is the only city in the world that cares this much about special teams, unless you're a punt return man. How many gunner gods are there? I'll wait.
Isn't that what Sam Franklin was?
Yeah,
gunner guy.
Yeah, and this is why people say that Buffalo Joe was a lot to make the team because he's a special teams ace.
Oh man,
that's fine. You know, no, that's sure.
Man,
you can. He was okay, but the thing is, I just don't care to have a conversation about him. You know, and now you got to. I trademarked that. I said it here. Hashtag it.
I'm making a t-shirt on that tonight, bro. I promise you. When I get home, that's the first thing I'm doing is
hashtag Gunner God.
And it's gonna be Sam Franklin and whoever else I can find this at the bottom of the roster. Oh, that's so good.
I mean, what Ray Guy was a kicker. So I mean that I'll take that. You know, a kicker, he scored points. Punters, they flip the field. Returners flip the field. We're talking about gunners. We're calling up One Bills Live every show. How many times on the show do they say Steve Tasker should be in the Hall of Fame? For what? Even Tasker don't want to hear this no more. So if you're listening to the show, don't call him and say that no more. You can tell in his voice he don't want to hear it.
You can see it on his face.
Yeah,
if
he
you watch
hates
it
that.
live on YouTube.
He hates that.
Does not like hearing that.
You know, so
because he know he ain't getting in. Like,
He knows.
come on, like all these other guys that are coming up now. You please.
Right, he's like, all right, whatever, fine. Yeah, sure.
Man.
What's your comment? But the thing is, you know, now Sal can hopefully come back to WGR. He can do his It's Always Sunny in Buffalo podcast.
Yep.
He's not going to address it. You know, I think he knew because he was still going on GR.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks. Thinking about it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Your dream job just pulled away from you after even 5 years, whatever he did. And I feel for him because guys like us that I had a comment. I actually kept recycling a topic, which I don't have time to get into now, but it fits here. When they asked Joe Brady about what is he looking for when he's going through the draft, he said, I want guys that love football. Why? I couldn't care less if you love football. Are you good at football?
Exactly.
Do you love your job? I don't, but I've excelled at my job because I know what it takes to be great at it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love it. I don't get up and say, oh, I can't wait. I'm not looking at my phone like, oh, man, I got 9 more minutes and I can get up out of here and go to work.
Yep.
The hell with this podcast. I'm going to work, baby. No. But you got Dennis Rodman, who was on the lam until right before the game. Is he going to show up? He comes in off a weekend bender in Vegas with strippers, and he still goes out and gets 6 and 28 rebounds. It's like, he don't even know he's playing basketball. He's in his own little world. Everybody that's great in football don't even care about football. Some of them just got it. Give me that. And, you know, and you stumble upon a GJ, and that's a testament to Joe Brady.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he brought a guy like that, and Sean McDermott would not. More than likely. We know all accounts. Chase Claypool is as risky as he's going to get. But the reclamation of CJGJ is not something I care about. I don't care if he becomes a Christian or whatever based on being with the Bills. I care, are you good for this team or not? You know, I care, what did you bring? What value did you bring to the team? I don't care what value we brought to you. And if he shows up, he shows up. But if he shows up on game days, yeah. You know, Keon Coleman, if he would have ripped it to shreds on game days and people were still talking about him missing meetings, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
I don't care about the character of a man as long as you're not doing illegal activities. I don't care if you miss meetings. Show up. You saw the freshman's episode. Get a ball to Will. I wish Mac was here. You could say, Will was in practice sleeping. Still, give the ball to Will. What's the play? Give the ball to Will. Because that's how dominant they are.
Yep.
You know, and that's a slippery slope that I want Buffalo fans in this next chapter of fandom to realize. I don't care if you love football. I don't care what your passions are. I care about how good you are on the field.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. And that's why, you know, when people say, well, Key, I don't delve into people's personal lives, all like that, unless it's shoved in my face. You know, and I think people need to understand that you can have less than quality character guys on the team as long as they don't bring a detriment, fine, sanctions, you know, really negative light to the team.
I want to get to the super chat before we get too much further. Appreciate you. Richie Fresh says, thoughts on area after old stadium demo. Hopefully not just parking lot. My thought is like a boulevard strip area with shops, bars, etc. If they were smart. Go ahead.
I think it's going to be a parking lot.
Yeah, what I'm hoping they do, and what I think would be a very valuable asset for the Bills, is aside from the concourse area where, you know, you can take pictures, and I'm sure there's going to be, you know, little things to do in the area there, you know, maybe some clowns or some balloons or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, right? But what I think would be really cool is if they did some kind of NFL interactive
game day experience
play. Like behind the Bills store, right? Because that Bills store is not going to be torn down yet, right? That we know of, and that part of the stadium is a little too new, in my opinion, for them to just be like, scrap it. You know what I'm saying? But I think if they were to add onto the back of that, like you go in and there's the shopping area, and then you go past that, and then there's like this field house sized building with, you know, a couple of fields, you know what I mean? You can get some flag football and stuff going on in there. You can have some rock climbing, just whatever, like football drill stuff that people can do in there, like something that's very interactive for the fans that they can, you know, do getting to the stadium several hours ahead of time, aside from going and getting drunk. Like, if you want a kids' day experience, you take them to that building you're set.
Bring back the Bills Stargaze. If you guys are Bills fans long enough to know, Stargaze was when Jim Kelly's have his flag football, his celebrity flag football thing in Buffalo. He's at UB, and they in the UB arena they set up. You can, as kids, you could run and do tackling drills. You could run through with jugs machines. They had people operating this. They had, you take pictures with different size cutouts so the actual player's hand size is this, that, and third. To test your strengths against whatever, 40 times. All that kind of stuff was available with the Stargaze thing. And I think this was 95-ish, somewhere in there. 90, 94, 95. So I still actually had the banner from the one because Marino came to one. Dan Marino, it was Team Marino versus Team Kelly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and these were like, you're talking about Bernie Parmalee was here. You're talking about, and these are
playing flag football?
Yeah.
Wow.
At UB Stadium.
That's dope.
Yeah. My mom took me. This is, So, and I think they had a couple celebrities out there at the time, actors or whatever. But yeah, this is they used to do it for basketball too, which is crazy for Buffalo not doing anything anymore. But drunken rock climbing.
Yeah, you got to take a breathalyzer first. You can't, like, obviously. I mean, I'm just thinking of stuff for kids to do. Like, in my mind, part of the reason why you up the price on these tickets and all that kind of stuff is because the atmosphere is going to be a little bit more family friendly. You're taking the I don't want to call them crazies, but the people that have to spend the least to get into the game are usually the people that drink the most outside of the game. You know what I'm saying? Because they aren't going to They're buying the cheaper tickets. They probably aren't trying to spend a ton of money on beer in the game. Right. So they drink a ton before, then go into the game, party, and then go home. Right. But if you're bringing your children to the game, what is there for them to do other than to sit there and just kind of look around? Or, you take them around and show them stuff. As a kid, like,
that's don't care.
Right.
Yeah, this is the bathroom with the trough in it.
Remember this.
Remember
this is going to be
day.
a big part of your culture.
This is going to be a formative year. I remember I was over there when I was 8, but now I'm 48. And it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
For
sure. But
yeah.
Real quick, Vu is saying, can Diggs come back? Let me ask you this. Do you think Brandon Beane would do this? Not necessarily as a slight to Sean McDermott, but just as kind of more proof that they've gone away from the same cultural perspective of Sean McDermott.
I honestly believe that Diggs would not come back because of Joe Brady.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he would love the offense. I don't. I think that was a sour taste in his mouth, like the shady thing. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. And then they're still doing it. Like, if he wouldn't have had Joe Brady and had the hint of a different offense altogether, I think he'd be akin to it, because Diggs is gonna have suitors.
So it wasn't so when Diggs was here, wasn't Brady running Ken Dorsey's offense for the most part? I mean,
the first half of the year, but then when he Diggs like fell off the cliff when he was running all those bubble screens and stuff like that, because that doesn't suit his game, and I don't know if there's anything in Buffalo to the point Diggs has to come back to Buffalo. There are players that say, I had my best years in Buffalo, I want to finish there. Diggs had his best years in Buffalo, but he also had 1,000-yard seasons pretty much everywhere he went.
Yep.
So, I think for him, last I heard he was thinking about going to his hometown team, which I think is Washington.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's that. I think he grew up a Redskins, now Commanders fan, but I could see that. And I could see his brother going there too, because they're both, playing together, whatever. His brother's not a lot younger, but he's younger. But yeah, I could see a world where Diggs is like, thanks, but no thanks. I love Buffalo. You guys were cool, but no.
Yeah. No Bone says NFL has turned away from family entertainment. Can't afford to bring a family of 5 to a game. Yeah, it's more corporate than anything else for sure. Yeah. It definitely has turned corporate for sure.
Yeah.
Do we really know what Brady's version of the offense is?
Nope.
Not here. We know what he's done other places, and who he's learned from. But no, to answer your question, no.
Yeah, there's no way. We just have what we can go by, and I'm scared. And I'll amend this, Laura, to click the trough. Buffalo Bills Stadium, when they get drunk enough, they're like, screw this. Girls, I'm going in there. I don't care. So if you ever peed in the trough, you can be anonymous. Click the link, even if you're a female who says, screw it, I'm going in there. I can't wait for the women's bathroom. Hey.
That's happened before?
I'm sure.
Wow.
I'm sure.
Wow.
But yeah, I also would like you to click the link if you'd like to drink some Reed's tea.
Yes, please.
I would like you to click the link. If you're going to click the link in the description below and secure yourself some Reed's tea. In doing so, you secure yourself some refreshing behavior, a delicious beverage, and health. Health is wealth, you guys. How much water have you drank? Don't worry about that because now we're drinking Reed's tea. Okay? We're not drinking a small sample size. We're not drinking an 8 ounce. We're not drinking a 12 ounce. We're not drinking a 24. Forget a 40. You're drinking a whole kit and caboodle. We're going for the case these days. You can drink a case because it's only 4 ingredients. It's all healthy. But why trust me? Look at the ingredients on the label. It's only 4 things. You can read them all. That's always a plus when you can read all the ingredients. Hyperrhythmophromines, it's not in there. Damaris told us what's in there. I don't remember. Because I ain't drinking enough Reed's tea. My memory is gone. But you know this is going to be gone? The supply of Reed's tea. If you don't get there, act fast. Get yourself some. Secure yourself a case. Have yourself a case ready for the first Lions and Bills home opener. Thursday night. Prime time. But when you do so, click the link in the description below and let them know the Postpodiumpodcast sent you.
Couple of quick comments here. 40 T's.
Hashtag it.
J-Ham, we will address that question next episode for sure. Bones, listen.
No, we'll address that in the Discord, J-Ham. Put it in there.
Hey, there you go. Okay. Now you talking.
Yeah.
Talking.
Copy and paste it.
Bones, I'm telling you love tea. This is the tea for you, bro. Tea connoisseurs, we have there's a video on the website of a guy saying like, yo, I'm a tea connoisseur. Like, this tea is legit. And all they did was take this tea to I think it was a game or something. It was some kind of event where it was people that they didn't even really know all like that. They just set up a stand for the tea there, and people just started trying and letting other people try, and then they all just started coming in droves. So they just shot a quick promo video of the people reacting to it. So the tea is legit. The tea is legit. In terms of where is it? Yeah. So we are currently in the works for something of that nature, right? I'll say it's part of the plan in the near future to kind of set up some connections there. So definitely look forward to that. You guys stick with us. We'll keep you posted on that. Okay. All right. Let's get to it.
Yeah, shoot the link. I gotta go.
Yeah. All right. Listen, thank you so much for tuning into the show today. And if you stayed with us the entire time, you are the reason we do this show. Thank you so much for sticking with us. For the people that became members today, thank you so much. For our super chatters, thank you so much. And we really appreciate the support, and we are going to do everything we possibly can to make your investment in us time-wise and monetarily worth every penny. So thank you again, and we will continue to be at work to give you the best possible product we can. With that being said, if you have not done so already, and if you are not a member or anything like that, there's 4 buttons for you to push that would help us out greatly. Hit that like button. That's for the live streams. That lets the YouTube algorithm know that we need to be pushed. We need to be out there. All right. So if you really want to support in the freest of ways, hit that like button. You can also hit that subscribe button to make sure we're on your homepage. And you can also hit that bell, make that thing so that you can get notifications when we send notifications, like the 4th button, that join button. $1.99 a month gets you access to so many different things, including now the game that we play every single month to get you free merchandise sent out to you directly from the Post Podium Podcast. You also get discounts on merchandise and plenty of other stuff. So make sure you check that out and let us know when you hit that button so that we can get you the Discord link so that you're with us 24/7. With that being said, thank you so much to everybody that tuned in.
Hit the
Oh, yes. I'm so sorry. Official sponsor of the show, and the reason we're able to bring this product to you in the first place. Rich is going to kill me. I'm so sorry.
I got you, Rich.
Yes. HighMikeHighTech.com is where you need to go for all your technical needs, whether it's computers, laptops, phones, controllers for game systems, whatever it is, TVs, you name it, he fixes it. He can tell you what you need in order to address the issue. If you're troubleshooting, whatever the case is, he does those kind of phone calls also. So make sure you check him out, HighMikeHighTech.com, for all of your technical needs. What are you waiting for? Get over there now and show my man Rich some support at HighMikeHighTech.com. All right, that's it. We got to go. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the All Truth, No Sodium Takes. I've been your co-host, Aramis.
40 keys.
All right, y'all have a great night. Peace.